Starcraft has been around for a very long time, but if you look back through its history, you might find a few surprises. I'm Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 Starcraft facts you may not know. Number 10, Amazon, as in the big corporate entity, not the big river, has a non-professional Starcraft 2 team called Amazon Painforest. Now the obvious illusion is the rainforest surrounding the Amazon River, combining it with the word pain. The team competes in the After Hours Gaming League, which is not a professional league, it's actually just kind of a quote-unquote for fun league, although obviously people are going to get very competitive. The end goal is raising money for charity, so that's always a good thing. The league doesn't just have Amazon in it, otherwise it wouldn't really be a league. It actually has a lot of teams involved, including ones from Apple and Microsoft. They haven't posted any information about their 2017 season, but they have confirmed there will be one, so hopefully they raise a bunch of money for charity as per usual. Good stuff, After Hours Gaming League. Number 9, the Korean military created a professional Starcraft team specifically because they had a guy in the military who happened to be their country's top Starcraft player. This isn't like your job at the barbershop where you get to come back after you're in the military. Esports kind of passes you by pretty quick, and it's not like Korea has been involved in any specific massive conflict anytime recently. But this guy made over $400,000 a year just on playing, as well as additional endorsements. He retired from Starcraft. He's now a professional poker player, though I have a feeling if they were in like a war, the Korean military probably wouldn't have done this. Number 8, speaking of Korea, in South Korea, the men's national football team, who had been competing in the World Cup, apparently needed a morale boost, so they brought in the top Starcraft players from the country, who were the football players' heroes. And I got to meet them. In South Korea, video gaming is absolutely a big thing. Esports is huge there. It's getting very big here, but over there, the actual sports players competing at the highest level consider StarCraft players to be their heroes. Let that sink in. Number 7, StarCraft is the first computer game to physically have been launched into space. This was actually put onto the space shuttle STS-96 in 1999 by Daniel T. Barry, massive StarCraft fan and mission specialist. Number 6, Sarah Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades in the StarCraft universe, a psychic with neural implants who has trained her entire life, maybe like a certain figure skater. You know how that training is. You dedicate your life to it and all that. Maybe there's some similarity between this character and a figure skater. Oh, Sarah Kerrigan is actually named after Nancy Kerrigan, who is not in the StarCraft universe, but the real universe, also known as the Queen of Blades. Number 5, it was really easy to crack StarCraft. All it used was a 13-digit CD key algorithm that, for some reason, they thought, let's make the 13th digit verify the first 12. You could literally enter anything you wanted for the first 12 digits. Anything. And then you'd have to guess the 13th to verify that number. If you could get a copy of StarCraft, you had StarCraft. It was very, very easy to crack. Very easy to crack. Number 4, Blizzard was developing a third-person shooter with a heavy stealth element called Starcraft Ghost. Now, the game was never publicly officially canceled, but people who were involved with the game refer to it as canceled if asked about it. It actually sounded like a pretty cool game. It mainly relied on stealth and asked you primarily to stay in the shadows and avoid detection, although there was a combat system in place. It's kind of unfortunate it never happened because there's a lot about it that's pretty intriguing, and in a lot of ways it did seem way ahead of its time. But it also was a single-player game, and with the esports boom, I don't think this is something that they're ever going to revive, unfortunately. But who knows? Honestly, nowadays it would still be intriguing, considering it was very intriguing for like 2004 era stuff, and seems like it probably could be interesting still. I don't know. You never know. Just don't get your hopes up though. Number 3, a number of colleges actually have through the years offered courses on how to play StarCraft. Now you might say, oh, why would they do that? That's crazy. It's actually kind of forward thinking. A lot of universities are setting up esports teams now to compete in the same way that regular sports teams would. And although I don't know if these classes are still going, the record I've found of them dates back several years and doesn't have any recent mentions. I'm sure there are other classes going on right now. keeping in mind they're not always full-blown classes where you get a lot of credit or a normal amount of school credits for completing. There have been classes like this on The Simpsons before, for instance. But still, given the fact that esports has become such a huge thing, like I said, this is fairly forward-thinking. Number 2, there's a Starcraft arcade shooter that was released in 2000 called MissionCraft that wasn't official. Let's just say that. It's actually kind of outright intellectual property theft, because the game itself is built entirely out of art assets from Starcraft, and it uses music from Warcraft. The developer didn't get permission for this at all, apparently. They don't credit Blizzard in any way, shape, or form during the course of the game or on the cabinet itself, and it's hard to imagine there's a massive amount of distribution of this game. Otherwise, there would probably be a pretty obvious history of legal action, and I can't find anything. It was made by a company called Sun, and I don't mean Sun Microsystems, I mean a company called Sun. If you like that kind of game, and I do, it looks pretty sweet actually. And finally, number 1, you know how I said in Korea, StarCraft and esports are a much bigger thing than they are here? But 120,000 people showed up at the arena where the 2005 StarCraft finals in South Korea were being held. Now, this is 40,000 more people than went to the Super Bowl in that same year. Now, there's been arguments over this type of a thing for years, and if it has something to do with the venue size and all that, of course Super Bowls could fill up venues bigger than 80,000. But that kind of an argument fails to mention that the viewership of a Super Bowl on television tends to be more than double the entire population of South Korea. So thinking about it that way, the percentage of people, the ratio of people, the number of people that showed up per capita for the StarCraft finals is absolutely freaking insane. Are you still playing StarCraft? A lot of people are still playing StarCraft. We want to hear from you in the comments. We're happy to hear more StarCraft facts, or hell, even whatever your favorite thing to do in StarCraft is. Just leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, click like, and if you're not subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.